And then whenever you guys are ready, we'll get started.
Okay, we're ready. Let's go.
All right. Chris, I'm bringing you in.
How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Had a little dental work, so I might be slurring a little bit, so I apologize.
Sure.
Just
Name and address for the record, please.
Sure. Chris Ross, Long Island, Perfect Permits, 124 Front Street, Suite 205, Massapequa Park, New York, 11762.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
Okay. For the record, we have a planning division memo dated September 15th, 2020. A survey by Andre Miller dated September 4th, 2019. Tax map acting as an area map. And
3 photographs, Mr. Chairman, as well as a plot plan by Joseph M. Bello dated, give me one sec, dated June 3rd, 2020.
Okay. Would you like to tell us about the application?
Sure. We're filing an application to maintain an existing front porch and rear roof over raised porch. The side yard of the property has not changed from when the house was built. The front porch and the rear roof over have not increased or decreased, or I should say decreased the side yard coverage. So this is a substandard lot, which is only 40 feet wide, and the side yards have been the same since the dwelling was constructed. If you look at an aerial view of the block, the front enclosed porch is in line with the other dwellings on the block. And we feel that these additions will not compromise the characteristics of the surrounding neighborhood, but will add to this ongoing beautification. I know we spoke to some of the surrounding neighbors that don't have issues with this being granted.
Okay. So what you're not really adding anything on? Is it just legalizing everything?
We're legalizing it. Yeah, they enclosed the front porch. We didn't really add on to it. They're legalizing the rear roof over. Again, this is all stuff that's been there for many, many years.
Okay. So would you agree to a condition that the front deck, the front porch, and the rear awning not be further enclosed?
Yes, we would be okay with that.
Okay. All right. I have no other questions. Any other questions from the board?
Nope. Good.
Would anybody like to be heard on this application?
No, there are none.
There are none. Okay. For the record, there are none. So we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. We're going to keep the record open for 1 week for further comments. You'll get the decision in the mail. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chris. All right, I'm going to be bringing in Mrs. Mayo for number 2. Give her 1 sec. I think she's just got to unmute and start the video. There you go. You guys are good.
Okay. Hi,
I need your name and address for the record.
Brenda Mayo, 621 Morrison Street, Babylon, New York, 11702.
And you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay, for the record, we have a planning division memo dated September 15th, 2020. A survey by Kohank and Land Surveyors dated March 10th, 1992. The second survey, also by the same land surveyors, and also dated March 10th. Oh, this shows the pool. So you're installing a pool here? The
Yes.
first shows the above ground pool being moved and a new pool put in the back. Okay. Tax map acting as an area map and
6 photographs, Mr. Chairman.
would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes, we're trying to put a pool in our backyard, an in-ground pool. We are backed by a cemetery behind us. We're just trying to put in a pool because with the COVID, my husband's compromised and we can't go very far. So I think we're over by the 5% of the building allotment. So we're trying to appeal it to try to just put a built-in pool.
Okay, great. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Shepherd.
Okay, so ma'am, we're removing the circular above ground pool.
We don't have, that's from before we were here. And we also don't have the shed that was on there. We're removing a deck. We have a deck on low to the ground deck. We're just replacing it with pavers.
That was my next question about the shed and in-ground
That's
pool.
from the original. That's from the original.
So it's no longer there?
No.
Okay. I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. We're going to close the hearing, reserve decision, keep the record open for 1 week for further comments. You'll get the decision in the mail, and thanks for coming.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to be bringing in Jimmy Jack for application number 3.
Okay.
Name and address for the record.
Yes, 271 West 15th Street, Deer Park, New York.
Okay, and you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay. The name and we have a planning division memo dated September 15th, 2020. Survey by Richard Drake dated February 24th, 2005. Tax map acting as an area map.
Yes.
Okay. What would you like to tell us about the application?
Well, I'm designed to put up a 2-story, approximately 20 by 23 addition on the side of my house, preferably to make our living room bigger and have a family room, and upstairs a master bedroom. Actually, I applied for this many years ago, and just recently my neighbor put up the same variance. Well, had the same variance approved, Mr. Miller, on 2018, the same setback and actually not a setback in the backyard. Mine's a side yard setback. And I believe I didn't need a front variance. I didn't want a front variance, but I think it's protruding a foot or so, because I made it adjacent with the other house. I was advised by the town to do that. So I'm not asking for 2 variances, but I don't know the legalities with that. I'm not worried about the front of the house because I made it, flush. And so I have a very small bedroom in my back. I get claustrophobic, and it's a high ranch. I'm thankful to be in Deer Park 20 years and town of Babylon. Know all of you guys, and I want to let you know that the variance application went smooth and your leadership is great. Kate Shreve, good to see you, and many others.
Good to see you, Jimmy.
Okay. That's it. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Correcchia.
How are you, Jim?
Hey,
Good to see you again.
Yes.
I see that the height of this addition is above the actual height of the home right now by 8 or 9 feet.
Correct.
This is going to be your main living. You're not looking to your main home, and you're not looking to put an accessory apartment or anything like that.
No, not at all. I have my kids. It's our empty nest syndrome for the last 5 years. So we're alone, and the master bedroom, I wanted a cathedral ceiling. I get, like I said, a little claustrophobic. So I wanted the high ceilings in the master bedroom upstairs.
Okay. At this point, I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
So this application did come to us back in 2005. Has anything changed since then, or what?
Yes. When I sat with the planning commissioner, when the other house was built, and I brought this information in, she suggested, it was originally coming out 5 feet in the front of the house as well in 205. So I put it flush. She said, just ask for 1 variance, don't go for 2. So, however, it seems that it's still protruding a foot. Like I said, I don't understand that. I'm not trying to come out and protrude from the front of the house. So that's the difference.
Okay.
We went a little bit back in the back of the house. I went out 5 feet, but I had plenty of room back there.
Yeah, that's not a variance on here, actually. It's the
Correct.
side yard, and the front is a foot for, I don't know what it's for, actually.
I think the entire house it protrudes a foot, and this was built in '62, so I did no extension.
The cantilever on the
Is the
second.
cantilever, is that what it is? Okay.
The
The
cantilever.
overhang.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just making it flush. If I have to go back, so we don't have to ask for 2 variances, that's fine. The front's not a problem with me
That
at all.
exists though, right? The cantilever exists?
On the entire house,
Yeah.
it does.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Which I didn't build the house, obviously.
So that's the difference there. So, okay. That's why it still triggers a variance. And the other variance is triggered because you're going out on that side and you're going to have a 10-foot side yard after the variance is done, right?
Yeah, correct.
After the addition is done.
That's
And I guess that first story deck has to be moved back so that the extension will be flush with the house.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Yep. And I have 17 feet, but I think the state owns 7 feet because I just have a curb. Then I have about 7 feet. Then I have my fence, and then I have 10 feet. So there's actually 17 feet from the extension to the curb. But I gather the state.
That's not your property though. So
Right.
the measurements are taken based on property line is what
Right.
it goes down
Right.
to. So.
According to my survey, correct. I'm just giving the reality.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
Any other questions from the board?
No.
Would anyone like to be heard on this application? The record,
There are none.
we're going to close the hearing, reserve decision. We're going to keep the record open for 1 week for any further comments. You'll get the decision in the mail. And thanks.
Hey, does the precedent, you guys know the precedent that was set already, correct?
What's the application number on that?
Yeah.
The application number is 18-125 John Miller.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to put that in for
We'll look
record.
that up so that we know we got it.
Thank you. You guys doing a phenomenal job. Gray Barn, Straight Path train station. Unbelievable. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. That's it.
That's it. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, board. I'm going to bring in Deborah for number 4.
Here I am. Hi,
Hi. Name and address for the record.
It's Deborah J. Morello, 462 Outlook Avenue, West Babylon, New York, 11704.
Okay, and you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated September 15th, 2020. Survey by William Hogan dated August 8th, 2019. Tax map acting as an area map.
And 5 photographs, Mr. Chairman.
What would you like to tell us about the application?
I wanted to build onto my house for an in-law suite above my garage. Unfortunately, my husband passed away last year suddenly. So I'm trying to stay in my home and be able to stay close to my kids.
You're not telling the whole story because I'm going to.
So my daughter and my son-in-law will be in the house and I will be hopefully next door. I had, the plans drawn up and hopefully that this is what it is. I'm new to all of this, so I don't know if I should just read to you what's in front of me.
No, we have everything that's in front of you. That's, what the planning memos and that stuff is, right? So there's a number of variances here.
Yeah.
We have that. So No, well, you know what? I'm going to turn the hearing over to Mr. Weinschank and let him ask you some questions and we'll do it like that, okay?
Thank you.
Good evening. Pretty straightforward. Is this going to be a separate apartment?
It's going to be actually where the garage is. That's attached to the house. My door will go from Farragut, where their door will go from Outlook, and it's attached, but I'll have my own little space.
And will you be going for an accessory apartment permit?
I believe that's what I was told to put. Everything that I was told to do by the town, I did. So whatever I need to do to make this all, yes, of course.
Okay. So it's going to be a separate apartment for your daughter and son-in-law?
It's attached to the house.
Yes. Oh, I realize that. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I understand it as an in-law suite.
Well, it's not
I'll be living. Yeah, I'll still be living here, hopefully.
Okay. But you're still going to be living in the house.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Okay.
The shed.
Yes.
Would you agree not to enclose? Excuse me. Would you agree not to? That if it had to come down for some reason, that you would put it in a legal location?
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Okay. And the Farragut Road is the secondary road.
Yes,
right?
I'm on a corner, so the front door faces Outlook, and then where they designed it, I would face Farragut. That's why we had the two signs put up the variances.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? So I'm going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. Because of the way we're doing, the meetings now, we're going to keep the record open for 1 week for any further comments from anybody.
Okay.
And you'll get the decision in the mail after that, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good luck.
Take care.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, board, for application number 5, we have Kelly Bennett. Kelly, I'm going to allow you to talk. She's on phone. She's on the phone, so.
Okay. Okay. Name and address for the record, Kelly.
Hi, it's Kelly Bennett, 1257 Udall Road, Bayshore, New York, 11706.
Okay, and do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay. For the record, we have a planning division memo dated September 15th, 2020. A survey by Lawrence Michael Haynes dated January 4th, 2019. The second survey. First survey is showing it is out. The first survey is also dated January 4th, 2019. The tax map acting as an area map and
7 photographs, Mr. Chairman, as well as plans dated December 13th, 2019 by Emmanuel Tenati.
Okay. Would you like to tell us about the application?
Well, I guess I'll start with the easy ones and work my way up to the more complicated ones. But basically, we are proposing a first and second floor addition to the existing home. So the front yard setback and east side side yard setback come into play. So we're seeking relief from 30 feet to 28 feet in the front, and on the east side, 10 to 12 feet with the roof overhang. And then there are also 2 existing sheds, shed 1 and shed 2, that don't meet the required setback of 8 feet. So we're asking for shed 1 to be at 1'2" and shed 2 5'6". The current owners of the house, so Mr. Squitieri and Mrs. Squitieri, they're in their 70s. Their son, who is a single parent with 1 child, he's in his 40s, the kid's a teenager. They're all living in this house right now. So there is existing 3 bedrooms on the first floor. What they're really looking to do is just gain some privacy and space as a family. So when we first submitted, we really submitted what he wanted to do, which was get the additional 3 bedrooms upstairs and down the road put in a second kitchen because he knew he wouldn't have the money for the kitchen now. So Kate and I had revised it a few times and gone back and forth. And what we did was put in for an accessory apartment permit as per, proposing 2 bedrooms upstairs and leaving the 3 bedrooms downstairs because the family, they're really not seeking a 2-family dwelling. They don't really have it. They're afraid, for taxes, they don't have an intended use outside of just gaining that, additional privacy space for their own family. So that's kind of where all of this started. So the accessory apartment permit was submitted. They did cash the check of the $75. I'm sure they're just kind of holding it. But I did read through, the comments and the covenants about the garage. They are so excited to have the garages, the existing garage and proposed garage. They would agree to never convert to habitable space and whatever conditions. But I just didn't know if that's something that at this point we can consider for reviewing it as an accessory rather than the 2-family relief.
So the variance number 5 is for the 2-family. So we could just eliminate that variance.
Yes, because what happened, we were proposing to keep the 3 bedrooms downstairs and we were proposing 3 bedrooms upstairs. But we went back to the homeowners, and we told them that the regulations of what constitutes an accessory is that there can't be more than the 2 bedrooms. So he really just needs 2 bedrooms, a second kitchen, and living space up there. And they're one big Italian family, so I'm sure they'll all be eating downstairs every night anyway. But it's just to gain a little privacy for him and his child.
Okay.
And I didn't submit elevations to the board, so I did scan those over to Ms. Green. This way, the board had them, and a copy of what we did submit to accessory apartment, with the square footages and everything.
Okay.
So just Kelly, this is Pam. Is there a rear
Hi,
yard?
Pam.
Hi. Is there also a rear yard request from 8 to 3.8? Because I believe there's 6 variances being requested in total. Is that your understanding?
Let me see.
Yeah.
A rear yard.
For the
Side yard?
Number 5?
Correct.
Number 5 is for the shed.
Yeah, I wasn't, so you're saying a rear yard relief is requested? Let me just take a quick look at the plot plan. Oh, is it for the roof over patio?
I just want to be sure which variance we're eliminating.
Yeah.
There's an existing covered patio in the rear.
No, guys. That number 5 is for that 10 by 16 shed.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. Number 6 is for the 2-family, and that's the one we should be eliminating.
I don't have a number 6 on my memo.
It was an updated memo.
There's an updated memo. I have it on the public notice on the agenda. Look on your agenda.
Okay.
That's what I was reading.
Okay. So number 6.
Yeah, I must have been looking at the old memo, but it is for the shed, and they would absolutely, if they ever needed to be repaired, replaced, put them in a conforming location.
Okay. So we can eliminate number 6 then in that case, right?
Yes.
Well,
that's what's on
basically, yeah.
Because you're not trying to go for a 2-family, you're going for an accessory apartment.
No, we've applied for the accessory apartment, and now, it was really just going back and forth between trying to accommodate their needs and understanding, that 6 bedrooms would have kicked us into the 2-family, and that's not what they're really looking to do. So we've applied for accessory apartment.
Okay, so I'll make a motion on application 20077 to eliminate variance number 6, which was to allow non-permitted use of a 2-family dwelling.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Mr. Weinstein.
Everybody's covered everything. So just as long as you're sure that the sheds will be moved if necessary. Kelly?
I'm sorry, what was that?
The sheds will be moved if necessary, correct?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay, I have no questions. No further questions.
Any other questions from the board?
Nope.
Does anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. We're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision, and we're going to keep the record open for 1 week. You'll get the decision in the mail.
Thank you all so much. Have a great night.
Good night.
Good night, Kelly.
Bye.
Okay, well done, everyone. Moving right on to page 5 of the agenda, P&P Motors. You okay, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
You're rushing it along here, huh? You got someplace to go?
I like to be efficient.
Go ahead.
Page 5, P&P Motors remains reserved. The bottom of page 5, VL10 remains reserved, but I hear there may be some action coming in the weeks ahead. So that would be a nice look at the agenda.
Yeah.
Moving on to page 6, Basilico Materials is still pending planning board. That remains reserved. Moving on to page 7, J&J Wanjari Christie's Smoke Shop will remain reserved while they pursue a non-conforming use. Moving on to page 8, we have Anita Bareja, and I'm presuming there are no new plans submitted yet, correct, Kate?
No, I just wrote myself a big note to call her again.
Okay, thank you. So that remains reserved. Moving on to the applications from last week. So I'm just going to recommend that Nick would want to probably recuse from those if he wishes to, as he is probably a little unfamiliar with the details from last week. So moving on to the first one, 20-105. The property is located in Copeg. Planning had recommended, if it was approved, it be approved with the condition that the rear porch not be further enclosed.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve application 20-105 with the condition that the rear porch not be further enclosed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And Mr. Rigney is recusing?
Yes, I am, Pam.
Okay, very good. Okay. Moving on to 20-016, this property is located in Amityville. It was just to increase the height to the adjacent cemetery. There were no conditions requested from planning. The board can move.
Dolores not here, right? Okay. This was up, the fence was up against the cemetery and stuff, right? So I don't think we have a problem. Anybody have a problem?
I have a problem with it.
Really not.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to approve application 20-105.
6. 106. I think.
20-106.
106.
Oh, mine says 105. Okay. Whatever. 106. Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Moving on to the bottom of page 9 of the agenda, the application is 20-103. This property is located in Deer Park. Planning had recommended, if approved, to be approved with the condition that the rear porch not be further enclosed.
Done.
Chairman, I make a motion to approve application number 20-103 with the condition that the rear porch not be further enclosed.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you. Moving on to page 10 of the agenda, the application is 20-101. This property is located in Deer Park. Planning recommended, if approved with condition, front porch not be enclosed and applicant must apply for accessory apartment permit prior to issuance of CO.
Sure.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application 20-101 with the condition that the front porch not be further enclosed and that the applicant must apply for accessory apartment permit prior to issuance of CO.
Second.
All in favor?
Second.
Aye.
Moving on to the bottom of page 10, the application is 20-102B, Rafael Tavares. I believe, Joe, this will need a neg deck. There were no objections from planning.
The one where they split the property?
Oh, the property is located in Copac.
This one does need an egg deck, but we also recommended no basement and noise reducing construction techniques because it's near the railroad.
Okay. So I will make a motion to adopt a negative declaration on application 2102B.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and I will make a motion to approve application 20-102B with, what was that? Tell me that again, Joe.
No basement.
No basement.
And build with noise reducing construction techniques.
Okay.
Building hazards.
What Joe said.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you. Moving on to the application is 20-107. This was Walmart, and this was permission for the sign variances.
I'll make a
Located
motion.
in Farmingdale.
Anybody? Somebody got something there? No.
Nope. No.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve application 20-107 for a period of 5 years.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Moving on to the bottom of page 11, the application is 20-104 FW Webb and Company. There are no recommended conditions from planning, but it was amended. So if approved, it would need to be approved as amended. And I believe this also will need a neg deck, correct, Joe?
That's correct.
Tom?
First make a motion to adopt a negative declaration for this property.
Second.
20-104.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I will make a motion to approve application 20-104 as amended.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Finally, there was no correspondence. So we can ask for a motion to approve the minutes from August 13th.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for August 13, 2020.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And for your review are the minutes from August 20th.
Your reading pleasure.
And that
Pam, did we ever
includes,
figure out that CNR on that one on 109?
what's that?
That CNR, whether they didn't want to file the CNRs, the public garage?
Oh, John, you'll recall Steve Kretz was asking for relief on filing the CNRs for the
109 garage that did accessories.
correct. But
Yeah,
Van place.
you had asked an important question, whether or not they had a repair license, correct?
Correct, but they don't
So-
need a repair license if they're not doing retail repairs. They're just installing accessories on vehicles. So
What are the board's feelings on covenants restrictions for that application?
What week was this?
2 weeks ago. Actually,
So John,
before the
what? He's just doing add-ons to newer cars or stuff like
right,
that?
he's not taking any retail repairs in, but he's accessorizing different vehicles like fire trucks and things like that, and vans for emergency use. But they don't do any repairs there. They're just doing add-ons.
Add-ons.
So basically, he really doesn't need a registered repair shop license to do that. If he was taking in New York State inspections or repairs on the vehicles, actually mechanical repairs,
Right.
then he would need a New York State registered repair license. And as far as the covenants and restrictions go for public garage, I mean, it's like, which way do you go with that?
Yeah, it's just kind of caught in the middle here. What is your recommendation, Pam?
I really believe that your covenants restrictions are very reasonable, and most of them have to do with property maintenance. I don't think it's a hardship. I know that the property owner is not comfortable with them, but I think it's a slippery slope if you start to apply them on a case-by-case basis.
Really, covenants and restrictions for public garage are basically for outside storage and maintenance and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah,
it's
so
not
we-
like,
Yeah, we should probably leave them in then. It sounds like, better idea, just covering everything, right?
works for me.
Okay. So do we have to do anything with that, or is that was just?
No, it was approved with the CNRs.
Okay.
Okay, good.
There was just questions on it, so
Right.
we're
Okay,
clarifying them. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate.
Thanks,
No
Kate.
problem.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. See you next
Good night.
week.
Good night.
All right.
Not all.
Did we
Good night.
adjourn the hearing?
Oh, adjourn.
Meeting's adjourned.